All right. Good morning, everybody. This morning, we're going to be talking about Donald Trump answering the phone, right? When somebody calls for help, the Donald is there, apparently. And, well, of course, as is always to be expected, the lefties are losing their minds. So, Mario, are you tracking on the story of Scott Adams and the developments with his cancer treatment?
Yeah, he's got like stage 5 prostate cancer. He's got Biden cancer. Okay, he's dying, and there's an experimental treatment that he was scheduled to receive, but because of some kind of bureaucratic scheduling snafu, he wasn't able to get into the cancer clinic at the hospital or whatever, and he asked Trump if he would directly intervene to cut through bureaucratic red tape so that he might attempt a last ditch effort to save his life. That about sum it up.
That's pretty close, yeah. Part of the part of the part of this story is that he has Kaiser Permanente, and the insurance company had already approved the
Hey, Chris,
treatment.
are you on the normal microphone? Because you're really loud.
Oh, hey, good. Thank you.
Hey, there you go. That's much better. Okay.
That would be better. And
Yeah.
I see Aaron Olson. Aaron, stick tight. I'm glad to see you there because we got to talk to you this morning too.
Mm.
So anyway, yeah, basically, according to the story, he's trying to get this experimental treatment. And I'm not going to try to say the name of, excuse me, until I'm reading it because it's one of those words.
Xylor Pramdidol.
Yeah. But dude, there's one that keeps running as a commercial. The wife and I'll be watching television, and there's one of these drugs that they keep running commercials for. I think it's like Zentria or something.
Yeah.
And every time I see it, there was an episode of Stargate SG-1, back in the freaking 90s,
Yeah.
where Dom DeLuise is on there as the alien, and he keeps saying it's apparently like his special greeting, and just like every 5 minutes in the episode, he goes "Contraya," right, and this is some special greeting from his alien world. And every time I see that commercial, just the rhythm of the word, I say "Zentraya," and we get a good chuckle out of it.
Yeah, if it's definitely well past time to just cut RFK Jr. loose to attack the pharmaceutical industry when all of your new drugs sound like villains from Dune. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Aaron Olson says I keep getting ED ads on YouTube. That is every man between the ages of 30 and 50. Okay.
Yep.
Every single man. They know who they know your sex, and they know your age. Okay. Then they're
Well,
gonna
and they know
they're
when
gonna
you
start
poop.
pushing the dick pills. Okay.
They know when you poop, and one thing about the ED pills, they've learned their lesson. They're not just marketing them to men who are older and actually suffering from ED.
Mhm.
They're trying to sell it as a party drug. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, young bucks, you can go all night. And yeah, I see those ads. Like we didn't get hit with that when we were in our 20s, but I if I'd have seen that ad in my 20s, hey, young buck, you can go all night, I'd have been like, yes, indeed, I can.
Yeah. I don't want to go all night at age 44. Okay. I threw out my back going for 10 minutes. Okay. Like, give me a fucking break.
Are you kidding? I threw out my back last summer fixing myself a glass of iced water. A piece of ice fell on the ground. I bent over to pick it up, and I spent the next week in bed recovering. True story.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yep.
Yep.
It's like you never know. You never know what you never know when you're going to get taken out of the fight for the stupidest reasons possible. Okay. It's like I always told my soldiers back in the army. Okay. They're young, they're fit. Okay. Feeling invincible. And I constantly tell them, no, you don't understand. You're only one slip and fall away from a permanent profile at any given moment. Okay.
Yeah.
That is real.
Dude, we were doing regular PT one morning, and I was doing sit-ups and landed wrong and my the trapezoid in my left shoulder or my right shoulder seized, and
Oof.
like I was stuck like this for a week. I was like 29,
Mm.
and I mean I was 28 or 29. It was maybe 6 months or a year before I deployed to Afghanistan. So I mean, like I was in the best shape of my life.
Yeah.
I was a monster, and nope, just hit the ground wrong. Had to drive to the hospital. Had to drive to the dock like this. I couldn't turn my head. It was awful.
Yeah.
So anyway, Scott Adams was apparently having trouble getting in to see the doc after having already been approved for the treatment. Right? Trump pledges to intervene in cartoonist Scott Adams' cancer treatment. Right? This article's from just 3 days ago, and now we're seeing stuff online. Apparently, he actually had his first treatment yesterday. What to watch out for on election day? No, screw you. I don't care about that. President Donald Trump said he would personally intervene to try to help a prominent supporter with his cancer treatment. And this is how they're going to frame it: that Scott Adams is getting special treatment because he's a Trump supporter. And I'm going to say, yes. And what's wrong with that?
America's not ready to accept, celebrities and prominent famous people getting better treatment. Okay, it's never happened before in American history.
Right.
Never. Whatever.
Right.
It's a friend helping out a friend because he's in a position to help him. So what?
Yeah.
All it is.
If you're in a position to help your friends, you do.
That's right.
Right.
If you don't,
without naming names, I have given or lent money to friends who needed it. I've dropped everything and jumped in the truck and driven for hours to go and help a friend who was in trouble. I'll name one name. About 2 years ago, Cameron found himself in a bad spot. He was at work, and he came out the door and went to get in his truck. Mm-hmm. And he had 2 flat tires, and his jack broke. Right. And I'll tell that story just because, that was one where he said, "Oh God, Lowry, he called me. He said, Chris, I'm so fucked right now. My jack broke. I'm stuck here, and I've got to get to this next place. I can't change the tire. I've already asked everybody here. Nobody has a jack." And the problem was his truck was big enough that none of the kids with their little rice burners had a track that had a jack that could handle the truck. And it just so happened at the time, the old ass jack that I had in my pickup truck that would have handled his, I had just broken my own jack changing a tire like 2 days previously. And so that I borrowed a suitable jack from a next door neighbor and fixed my tire like 2 days before this happened. And Cameron called and said, I need a jack. Can you help me out? And I said, funny story, I don't have a jack right now. So I got in my pickup truck. I was planning on doing it anyway sometime in the near future because I need a good jack in the truck. And I went my ass to Lowe's and I bought a freaking jack and went and changed Cameron's tires. Right?
Yeah, two flat tires and a broken jack. That's one of those moments where you kind of like stare at the sky and scream like, "Why do you hate me? Why do you hate me?"
Pit Danny says, was this before the time of roadside assistance?
Roadside assistance costs money. Your friends don't.
Right. Yeah, why pay for roadside assistance when your friends can spend their money?
Yeah, exactly. Like, why should I hire a mover? I know a friend with a pick-em-up truck.
Yeah, but pro tip, gentlemen, our age, right, and the age of many of the names that I see in this thread right here, you're too old to get your shit moved for pizza and beer. Hire a moving team. So Scott Adams, who treated the workplace set,
I moved the worst. I moved a friend's piano as a favor. Okay, never again.
No.
Oh,
No.
I
So,
didn't. It probably. I think a piano defies the laws of physics. Okay, it literally has like It must have like a tungsten core that has a gravity drive in it. Okay, because the amount of gravitational force that thing exerts on the ground is unreasonable. All right, it's like moving lead.
yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah. Pianos are deceptively heavy.
it's like a
And they're
pallet.
hollow.
It's like a pallet of ammunition heavy. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a mostly hollow wooden structure.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And then it's also awkward shaped. Yeah. No.
Mhm. Yep.
No. Hire somebody for that. Okay. So Scott Adams, who created the workplace set comic strip Dilbert in 1989, and who revealed in May that he had prostate cancer that had spread to his bones and expected to only live a few months longer, said in a social media post on Sunday that he would be asking Trump for help to bring forward his treatment schedule from Kaiser Permanente after and this is key, California-based healthcare provider dropped the ball in scheduling his intravenous infusion, right? So this isn't Trump came in and got special and cut away a bunch of red tape and changed laws or anything like that. This isn't Trump came in and bullied Kaiser into approving something that they wouldn't normally have approved. He had already been approved to be treated with Pluvicto is the word, a targeted radioligand therapy. It's not radiological. This word, Mario. Look at this word.
Radioligand. Radioligand.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Used to treat prostate cancer. And the drug was approved by the FDA in 2022, so it's not new. Trump posted on it.
It must involve putting the radioactive medicine directly in the ligaments in the hopes that it goes into the bones or something. Okay, it's like damn. It's like ultra targeted vascular penis nukes medicine. Okay,
right.
Excellent.
So yeah. So Trump responded, right? You had the Scott Adams post on X. On Monday, I will ask President Trump via X to help save my life. He offered to help me if I need it. I need it. As many of you know, I have metastasized prostate cancer. My healthcare provider, Kaiser of Northern California, has approved my application to receive a newly FDA-approved drug called Pluvicto, but they have dropped the ball in scheduling the brief IV to administer it, and I can't seem to fix that. I'm declining fast. I will ask President Trump if he can get Kaiser of Northern California to respond and schedule it for Monday. This will give me a fighting chance to stick around on this planet a little bit longer. It's not a cure, but it does give good results to many people. And Trump shared that on Truth Social with the simple comment on it.
Yep.
Right. And then almost immediately, Scott's getting his treatment. Well, what we're seeing on the internets are things like this.
What? Oh, no. Do we have to look into the abyss and stare at people's hateful comments on X?
Yes, because I'm going to make a very specific point about this in just a second.
Well, just a quick joke, I guess. Pit Danny says that Pluvicto uses plutonium. Okay. And that, according to the advertisements, you can't have sex. You don't have sex when you're on it. Plutonium dicks. Okay, like that.
1.21 gigawatts. I call it my fucks capacitor.
Nice. I'm wondering, like, how do you? What kind of pickup lines can you use with plutonium dicks? Okay, that's impressive.
Hey, baby, you want to see something hot?
Hey, baby, You want to get some. You want to get some. You want to take that fusion, turn that fusion into fission. Fuck. Like when you bust, it's like one of the cars exploding in Fallout. You know what I mean? It's like
So this guy, Tim Hannon, says, just like Ayn Rand at the end of their lives, they always ask for a handout. Okay. Scott Adams is a private citizen paying for a private health insurance policy, which has approved the treatment that he's paying for. How is this a handout? Right? So Tim Hannon, you're just a douchebag. You're just a hateful shitbird.
Tim Hammond. Let's see you on your deathbed, okay? And the extraordinary lengths you're willing to go to survive. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. It's the end of my life, and it's time for desperate measures. I promise you, there are not a lot of people alive today that will survive my desperate measures. Right? I've got a wife and kids, a mommy and daddy. And just about all other lives are forfeit.
That's right. Because when Chris is on his deathbed, he's not concerned about his death. He's concerned that there are people still alive who he needed to kill with the limited time that he had on this earth. Remember that movie? You remember that movie? What was that movie? It was starring the actor who played the commissioner, or the actor who played Walter White's brother-in-law. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know the actor's name, but I know who you're talking about.
There was that movie where he was falsely diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, and he just basically went suicide cop mode, like intervening in every dangerous moment that he had the opportunity to.
I have not seen that.
Yeah, he would just like straight walk into.
Chiklis.
Yeah, he would just walk into hostage situations like unarmed, be like, "Hey, look, I'm dead anyway. Let's talk." Like.
I watched that,
and then the twist is at the end of the movie. It was like, "Oh yeah, we falsely diagnosed you. You're it's and the moral of the story is only when I thought I was dead did I truly learn how to live." Like,
right?
You know what I mean? But
right. Yeah. Well, so we could go down the rabbit hole on that for days. People just taking the worst takes. Oh, this is political favoritism. This is yeah. I got a better take. How about this? This happened in California. Mm-hmm. Scott Adams is a famously pro-Trump, used to be lefty, is smart enough to see the writing on the wall and to see that the socialists, the leftists, the communists, the Mamdanis, the Gavin Newsoms of the world are destroying our country. Went all in for Donald Trump, is a friend of Donald Trump, was a massive advocate for Donald Trump's election.
Yeah.
And he needs medical treatment in California. How about, rather than looking at this and saying, oh, there's some political favoritism going on here, how about this one?
Yeah.
The Democrats, the left, famously anti-Donald Trump, Gavin Newsom governed blue state California, has the opportunity to cause harm to a Trump supporter through bureaucratic meddling, right? You got Lois Lerner. You got the Lois Lerner case, right? One of Obama's people actively shuffling paperwork to the bottom of the stack to prevent conservative PACs, conservative political organizations from being able to open and operate within the law for the explicit purpose of causing harm and hampering their effect on elections. You've got the recent case where we found out that the FBI was under Biden was conducting active investigations into groups like TPUSA, right? Direct government interference in political organizations for political reasons. So, okay, bitch and moan about Scott Adams getting some help from a friend, and this is political, blah blah blah. Shut up, right? Shut the hell up, because at the end of the day, the people are yes, Mario. And I'll say this about that, and then we'll move on to the next segment. At the end of the day, the people who are criticizing Scott Adams and Donald Trump over this are the people who celebrated the assassination of Charlie Kirk and then voted for Jay Jones, despite his having been revealed to be fantasizing and planning to murder his political opponents for political gain. That's who these people are. That's who we're up against.
Well,
and for our next segment, Aaron, go ahead and jump in, because for this next segment, I want you guys to remember they murdered Charlie Kirk.
What's the next segment on?
Well, if Aaron will go ahead and jump in, I'm going to let him kind of introduce that.
Is it anyway about the election yesterday?
No.
All right. Well, I got.
It's about his activity yesterday.
I got one hot take on it. If you guys want it later, okay.
Please do. No, go ahead while we're waiting on Aaron.
Okay. Yeah. So the GOP fared very poorly, okay, in some special elections yesterday, as Chris, I'm sure, talked about. All right. Now, you're seeing people. Now, I don't really think there's really anything to overreact. Okay. What
No,
people
because
should
it all happened in safe blue states.
What people should be overreacting about is the fact that the U.S. economy is literally about to crash. Is about to collapse completely. Okay.
Yeah.
Everything has been. Everything is in the AI bubble stocks, okay, and prominent investors are now shorting it. All right, so it's basically a time bomb waiting to go off. That's what you should be concerned about. All right, but you've got people in the Republican Party like Vivek Ramaswamy, okay, who famously nuked his own career last Christmas by saying Indians are better than you. Coming out and saying that the reason the GOP performed poorly is because of identity politics. Okay, shut up, Vivek. Okay, that's not at all. That's not what they're trying to do. Is they're trying to peg their election failures, okay, on the fact that Tucker Carlson introduced Nick Fuentes to the Boomers. Okay, give me a fucking break. All right, that is not the reason. Yes, there is infighting within the GOP. Okay, over the presence of Nick Fuentes and the new political movement, the youth politics. Okay, that the Republican Party desperately needs. All right, there's anger, there's bitterness, there's coping, there's seething. All right, but trying to shut it down simply no longer works. All right, and people are struggling to come to the realization that the GOP as it was is simply not going to be going forward. Okay, a place like Georgia, the Georgia GOP, utterly calcified, scleric. All right, desperately needs to have its house foundations cracked and for new growth. Okay,
and I'll say this about the identity politics. We saw this with Winsome Sears in Virginia. Listen, GOP,
stop running black women. Stop running black women.
You can't run black women and expect Democrats to vote for you based on the fact that she's a black woman. Blacks vote for Democrats. They don't vote for blacks.
Well,
if you run a black as a Democrat, they will vote for the black Democrat over the white Democrat. But the blacks that vote Republican are not voting on race.
Yeah.
They're voting on principle. They're voting on party.
Right.
Yes. Black women do not vote Republican.
We even have this concept in meme culture, the based black guy. Okay, based black guy is not going to save you. Okay, never was, never will. Anyway, so
right.
So it's a shrewd and dishonest deflection is what you're seeing right now among the right, especially like the American Jewish Council or whatever, basically having Nazi-like speeches at their event last weekend, calling basically for the death of their enemies. I mean, it's finally they've lost the damn script. Okay, it's completely out of control. Now, look, I don't want to rant and take up Aaron's time. Okay, so
I'm gonna he's been waiting patiently in the in the green room for several minutes now. So we've got Aaron Olson now. As I introduce Aaron, do me a favor and scoot just a little bit to one side so you're in the middle of the frame there.
Aaron, I caught what was on your screen. Perfect. That's going to be a copyright issue. Okay.
That's excellent. I'm almost tempted to relegate you to one of the smaller screens so I get the wider shot, but I want you to be front and center for this segment. So Aaron, go ahead and tell us why why we're having you on today, and you'll be introducing the segment. Tell us about what you saw yesterday.
Well, Mario almost got me killed yesterday. That's why we're here today.
Volume up.
Volume up. Give me 1
Can
second.
you increase your microphone volume a bit?
Yeah. How's that? Is that
better? That's much better. Yeah.
Cool. No, Mario almost got me killed yesterday.
Based.
We'll figure out why. No, Stephen Crowder posted on his Instagram yesterday that he was going to University of Oklahoma, which is in Norman, and I was driving. It's gonna be driving by Norman, out doing my work, and so I decided, my pretty much influenced kind of by the death of Charlie Kirk, to go and just kind of see if I could participate. And so I go to campus, and I parked my car and I started walking to where the location of the event was going to be held. And when you get there, when you're walking into the plaza, like, he had snipers on the roof. He had police, bomb dog. Then there's a ton of private security out there. And I didn't think about how I was dressed. Because I clearly was not dressed as a student. Had my hat, my vest, what I typically wear, sunglasses, long sleeve golf shirt. This particular day, I was just wearing suit pants and boots, and just walk into the area, just start standing in the same place, and all of a sudden, all the private security focused on me, saying this guy is a potential threat. They were walking around me. They had people standing next to me. There's one small guy walking around, and there was a small barrier where they had trying to keep traffic flow, and I was standing there. At one point, the guy was literally inches away from me, looking at me. My phone's going off because I got work stuff coming in, and then I'm texting you guys, and Mario sends a picture of a guy with a sniper rifle.
Yeah.
From the movie.
That's right. I started sending Aaron Olson memes, okay, about Remy, Michael Rappaport's neo-Nazi character from the movie Higher Learning, okay, which is about a school college campus.
Yeah, these guys are trying to figure out who I am. I can tell they're trying to see what's on my phone, because I'm taking a couple phone calls, and at one point, one guy from across the way just came and just stood there and just stared at me, and I just you could feel the tension. You could just tell that I was agitating the potential for a security risk, and so I eventually just left. I told you guys I'm just going to leave, and as I'm walking away, they're saying he's on the move, he's on the move, and then as I'm driving off campus, they're still tracking me. Like I saw one guy driving past me on a bicycle. They're just trying to track my movement. And then I was driving on campus, saw another guy at the corner, and then pulls out his phone. It was just different, because I went in good faith just to try to participate. And I was actually very disappointed with this event, because the way they had it set up is that there was no speakers. It was just you go sit down with the crowd. It was just a one-on-one deal, and there was no crowd participation. And that was really disappointing, because the whole point of just doing the whole thing is to try and get the students and everybody else to interact. So there was that. It's like the president was there, because Crowder was wearing a vest, because he adjusted it at one point. You could see it, and everybody was just on really high alert.
Yep. You're gonna start seeing conservative public speakers with cope cages, like anti first person anti FPV drone, okay, like technology around them, right?
Yeah.
They have the walk around with a helmet that's got the little spikes on it to dissuade pigeons from landing on you. You know what I mean? Just walk around like that all day. It's gonna be great. Now, as for your wardrobe, choice of wardrobe you mentioned earlier, Aaron, you were dressed like a Fed trying to not look like a Fed. Okay, that's what you do.
Yeah, one of the students was like, I guess he was former Army. He was talking to another guy, and he's like, "Oh, there's an undercover cop over here," and he asked me, "Are you a cop?" And I shook my head, no. He goes, "That's a cop." I told the truth. I'm not a cop.
Yeah, you might not realize it by looking at him in the camera, but Aaron is actually a physical unit. Okay, so he stands a few inches. He stands a few inches above the average man. Okay, and he's
I go to the gym.
He's a unit. All right, so he's got a natural intimidation check. Okay, passively running.
Oh yeah, and Pitt Danny's saying check the shoes. Well, I was wearing Chelsea boots, and so you don't run in Chelsea boots.
That's right.
But
when Aaron
do not.
Yeah. Never, but I'm not going to say that.
so yeah, here's what I want to talk about relative to that. Obviously, ever since the assassination of Charlie Kirk, we've all been concerned about political violence, and we've been hearing a lot of conversation from guys like Steven Crowder, Tim Pool, Ben Benadryl Shapiro, Michael Knowles, etc., about the security posture. And I have preferences among those personalities who I like to listen to and who I don't. I'm sure you can make some guesses, but the fact is, Crowder has been physically attacked on camera more than once. Michael Knowles, same thing, physically attacked on camera more than once. Tim Pool, we haven't seen him physically attacked on camera so much because he doesn't do the big public events anymore. He hasn't done public stuff for a long time. He's always in the office on his compound.
He's gotten his beanie swiped to comic effect. Okay.
Yeah.
Which he would claim as assault.
But he did get swatted repeatedly last year. In fact, year before last. One of our biggest shows was actually Chaircast. Remember, Aaron? You remember Chaircast, right? So what happened is there was a swatting at the Tim Pool studio, right? The cops showed up, bomb threats, whatever, and the cops came in and they made everybody leave the building, and they just left the live stream running for like 3 hours. They were live streaming an empty room for like 3 hours. I went live at that time and talked about what was happening, and I was sharing live updates from the Twitter feeds of everybody who was in the room, Tim, the guests, the co-hosts, everybody that was in the room, and everybody that was, I was just digging through everything and covering that. That was one of our biggest shows ever, just covering an empty room. And a lot of America, like 35,000 people, sat there with, I assume most of them just kind of like let it play in the background because there wasn't any sound. There was nobody in the room, just waiting to see, is something going to happen? Is something going to happen? And, but anyway, the point I'm driving toward is we've heard all these guys talk about their security posture lately. In fact, we've got this story. Barry Weiss was recently hired by CBS News. Yeah. Was laying off a bunch of people, and they say that they're spending $10,000 a day on her security as she's been hired to take over the newsroom at CBS because they understand that their brand has gone too woke and they're basically going to go bankrupt. They have to join or die now.
Who wants to kill her? Really, honestly, most people don't even know about her. Why do you need a $10,000 a day security detail?
That was true, Mario. I would agree with you on that until she was hired by CBS to take over their newsroom. And now she's a major target for left-wing terrorists, right? They didn't know who she was, but now they know who she's become.
No.
Does that make sense?
She's a Zionist, okay? So that's probably her rationale why she needs that security detail, but it's really one of those. I'm in danger. I'm being threatened. That's why you should listen to me. I'm a victim. Okay.
And that's another element. That's another element.
Anti-Semitism. Like that. That's what it's about.
Well, and actually, that's one of the two elements that I wanted to discuss here. Is this does in a way open up a lot of room for conservatives to take advantage of the current climate. And by talking about the security posture and all that, we can point to Democrats and say, look, these are violent, dangerous monsters. And it doesn't, in a way, it doesn't matter if it's true or not. It happens to be true. But the political fact, the strategic fact on the ground is that whether or not it's true, we have the very clear appearance and optics of it being true that if you know a Democrat, your wine aunt, right? Your your lefty cousin, they would kill you if Bernie asked them to. People who you have known your whole life would murder your children if Bernie told them that it would get brown people free drugs.
I am no longer asking for money. I'm asking for blood. I'm asking for your blood-stained hands. Okay.
Right. So there's that. And I mean, case in point, we had the baseball massacre several years ago, and this was infuriating. Right now, the optics are leftists are deranged, dangerous terrorists. Hey, why isn't the government open right now? Because the official policy of the U.S. government is not to negotiate with terrorists.
Well, apparently,
Democrats are in fact terrorists. But after the baseball massacre incident, hell yeah. I made good money and had a lot of fun hunting and killing terrorists. It was my job. And who did I do that job for? The United States government, right? The Army. But after the baseball massacre by a Bernie Sanders supporter, every freaking talking head on the conservative right came out and said, "Hey guys, we can't say that this is representative of all left. Why can't we? Why can't we? Why can't we point at the guy that murdered Charlie Kirk and say, this is your wine aunt, this is your lefty cousin, this is your shitbird kid that's going to fucking college and learning to hate America. This is who they are." And we are beyond time to pretend that these sociopaths are not dangerous. They're not dangerous, self-centered terrorists. That's what they are. Now, that said, with the experience that you've just described, Aaron, basically being disappointed by the event because of the security posture, because of the wall of security being put between the talent, between Steven Crowder and yourself, the audience. Because of that wall of security, we may be finding ourselves in a position where we're breaking one of the cardinal rules. We're trading safety. We're trading away freedom for safety, right? That's what Stephen and Tim Pool and Michael Knowles and all these guys. And hey, I get it, right? There is a legitimate threat there. There is a serious and real threat, and there is serious and real risk that needs to be considered and mitigated. But there must also be a point at which we cannot silence ourselves. We cannot wall ourselves off. You don't put bad guys in the mud by hiding on the fob.
Yep.
Eventually, you got to lace up your boots and go on patrol.
I'm proud of you, Chris. We made it 37 minutes into this program without having to. Before we had to be reminded for the first time that Chris is awesome. I appreciate your editorial control. Okay, that's discipline.
It's difficult, Mario.
Yeah,
it's difficult because in casual conversations, people tell me that I'm amazing.
Okay.
So,
under duress.
So anyway, that's my take.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, Aaron, what do you think about do you care about New York City at all, or no? Or do you figure just get your popcorn and absorb it across the Hudson, with excitement and anticipation?
Let it burn.
I care. No, I honestly I do care because working in real estate, it's gonna if they all move to Texas or go down south where you guys go, it's just gonna make logistics worse because I have to travel from house to house, and it's gotten a lot worse. Especially with people coming from out of state, they don't understand that. Like especially in Oklahoma, if you move here, because Oklahoma's population has gone up by 33% since COVID, and the people don't respect. Yeah, they don't respect the speed limits. They drive like they're from Texas. They tailgate, they speed, and the cops are not out on the roads as much right now, which is different. And it's just that part's very annoying because I do a lot behind the steering wheel. I sometimes joke that I live in my car sometimes. Women don't like that because it's a funny joke. At least it is to me because I spend hours and hours in my car. And it's just it creates an unsafe environment, and especially if these people come, it's gonna raise real estate prices. That means it's going to put a greater strain on foods and services in this area, and
Of course.
because they're leaving,
Yeah.
leaving the stuff that they created, coming out here, and they're going to pollute the good things that we created out here.
Yep, and Florida's been dealing with this for years. Okay, especially it really accelerated the moment the COVIDian nightmare began. Okay, where the COVID states, all right, COVID lockdown states started shedding their population. All right, New York and New Jersey especially moved to Florida in record numbers. So the majority of these New Yorkers fleeing, I'd say about half of them are coming straight to Florida. Okay. Um, and I honestly, it could be so bad that literally yeah, Jiggly, never change, Jiggly,
Never
all right?
change,
Never
Jiggly.
change. I mean, the outflow of human capital and financial capital could be so severe that like Wall Street effectively could get essentially rechartered in Florida. Okay, not that I want that here. I don't.
They're going
I
to
find
DFW.
I find the massive influx of money into an area always has a toxic effect. Okay, I am not like I'm not the GOP establishment who's like, oh, green arrow go up equal good. No, that's not always the case. It's not always the case.
No,
But
because that usually comes at the cost of people's jobs. A lot of the times,
Right. You want to build
price.
that local wealth slowly and carefully.
correct.
Yeah,
That's right.
Right.
You don't want a bunch of New York carpetbaggers descending upon you. Okay.
no,
Right.
they're
Well,
coming.
I mean,
they're going to Dallas.
what happens more often than not when somebody wins the lottery, right? How many stories of young black guys getting that first rap record contract are, oh yeah, we handed him $5 million and it destroyed his entire family.
Yep.
Right.
Mhm.
And I mean, it's money. It's the witchcraft thing again, Mario. Money is energy, right?
You
And
gotta-
if the more you drop it in one place at one time, the more rapid the expansive, explosive reaction is.
Yeah. I've been ignoring Jiggly, but I gotta bounce on this. I gotta jump on this one. He has an LGBT. Jiggly Plum says, "I like that Aaron has an LGBT computer." I did notice that the moment you came on. I'm like, "Oh look, it's a trainee school shooter computer."
Yeah, Sergeant
It's
Major
supposed to
said it looked like you were calling from a disco.
Absolute
You're
Reddit.
supposed to be able to change the lights. I haven't taken the time to figure it out. I just need it to get my appraisal stuff, so I don't care if it was gay.
Nah, it's fine. I'm just breaking your balls.
Oh,
you're
Sergeant
good.
Major, the hottest take. Speaking of LGBTQ comments. Moving to Orlando so Mickey can shine the Bulls' balls. All right.
Yep. Now, Jiggly, Aaron is what you're seeing there. Okay, that's a Midwestern All-American strapping lad. Okay, that's that's
Not
the
a
Midwestern phenotype. Okay.
I'm not a cop. I've never been military, but everybody says That's the question I get. Are you military? Have you been in the military? No.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh.
You should shave the sides of your head and start saying yes.
Usually they are. Oh. But then I got to deal with all the stolen valor people, and I don't want to end up on YouTube.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
All right.
So, what are the? It was revealed yesterday in a tweet. Alex Soros, okay, the son of Scion of George Soros, right? That basically he's partnered with Mamdani, okay, like they're close friends. So I do love it when the left gets the bait and switch, okay. He's not going to be implementing any of his radical policies. He's already basically in tight with the Chabadniks. Okay, so good luck freezing the New York real estate market. Yep.
Well, and, Mamdani, like
all he'll do is basically make the red ink go redder. Okay. That's all that's going to happen.
Well, he's promising shit that he can't do. Most of the things that he's promising to do is shit that has to be done by a different government body.
Exactly. He does not control Albany. Okay. And you're going to see a greater political distinction between Albany Democrats and New York City Democrats. Okay. And there's going to be conflict there.
The distinction is going to be Albany socialists and New York City communists.
Correct.
Right. There's no such thing as a Democrat today. Those don't exist anymore. There are socialists and there are further left socialists.
That's right.
That's what the left has become.
To bring it full circle, that's what Scott Adams was. He was a Clinton boomer. Okay.
Right.
A political species that is now extinct.
Yeah. Well, they've been assimilated.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, if you're a boomer today, you're essentially either a communist or basically already dead, unless you've got decades of service and just ready to raise your rifle to keep your grandchildren alive. That's
keep your rifle by your side. Yes, indeed. Yep, Pit Danny like James Carville. Exactly. Yes, he's the last of them. They keep James Carville alive. Okay, inside of like
pretend like they're still a party
inside of a glass exhibit, like at the political zoo. Okay, so that he can be studied and we can learn from him. We can learn about him. All right.
In 50 years,
we can't learn from him, but we can learn about him. We can.
In 50 years, he'll be a head in a glass jar, still trotting out the old Democrat Party lines. So that they can cling to some legitimacy.
All right.
Say again, Aaron.
That's the racist guy from the KKK guy from Arkansas.
No, James Carville is was the campaign manager. He was Bill Clinton's 96 campaign manager. Okay. And he's
the Raging Cajun.
The Raging Cajun. He always wears LSU
that
gear.
bald guy. Oh, from okay, I know him. Oh yeah.
He's the definition of a curmudgeon. Okay, just a grumpy old bastard.
He's entertaining.
Yeah.
He looks like Mr. White with more meth. So,
yeah.
Sergeant Major says, "Well, you windbags, have a good day. I'm going to take my rifle for a walk."
Okay.
And on that note, actually, it's about time for my morning constitutional as well. So, guys, do either of you have anything else you want to close on?
No, I'm all set.
No, I think I'm good.
Aaron, thanks for joining us this morning.
Anytime. I appreciate the invite.
Yeah, we like having you on. This isn't the first time, and I hope it won't be the last.
Number 2.
So, yeah.
No, anytime.
We definitely have to have you back again.
Yeah.
And yeah, so to the rest of you guys, thanks for watching this morning. We love you, and we will see you tomorrow.
Wait.
What?
Aaron, the next time you come on, what I need you to start insulting Cameron, okay? All right? We need more. We need more of that. That's part of the price of admission, okay?
I'll have to get some lines from you.
I don't care if you will be part of my years-long psyop against Cameron, okay?
Yes.
Whether you want to or not.
It's vitally important that you get down here sometime in the not too distant future and we go have a beer.
January.
Like vitally important.
Yep.
January.
All right.
How about January?
January sounds good.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah. All right.
And Mario, I'm going to give you a call right after we're off air.
Yokely dokely.
All right, gentlemen, and ladies and gentlemen in the chat out there. Thanks for watching this morning. We love you, and we will see you tomorrow.
Ciao.
See ya.
All right. And we're clear.